Welcome to Thursday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.
Well, we haven't lost that summer feeling yet. Here we go now. Week 3 of Fox 12's Thursday Night Lights. Slowly, surely, the league slates are loading up, including tonight in the Mount Hood Conference. Thursday Night Lights kicks off down Southeast Highway 26, the home of the Sandy Pioneers, out to prove a point against their conference rivals from Central Catholic. Rough start, though, for the Pios. A failure on the exchange left some free money on the ground for James Wade III to collect and cash in. A 27-yard scoop and score for the Rams. CCHS on offense now. Boy, Crew Newman can really do it all. The third-year starter finds a fellow senior, Nico May. The fastest way, point A, point B, up the middle, 13 yards for CCHS. Later first, boy, Phoenix Orion DeCosmo, 220 pounds, 6'5", junior lineman, a throw of a lifetime. An INT and payable on delivery. Big man touchdown for 30 yards. Still more Ram reel to see here. Newman on the keep. Fake till you make it. Cut along that plastic grass in the shadow of the mountain. 68-7 for the Rams. A third straight roadie for them will be Friday in Happy Valley against Nelson. Sandy next rides to David Douglas. Another Mount Hood Conference flash on a Thursday night in Clackamas. The Cavaliers welcoming in the David Douglas Scots. Opening quarter, an opening score. Defensive for James Holland's boys making plays. Maddox Mejara seems to make the show each time we go out there. 34-yard pick six, swinging the sword for the Clack attack. Now on offense, we got Dylan Brower, Justin Larson, sophomore to sophomore, on a hookup for the score, 15-0. They're gang in red. Early second now, Cavs on the goal line. That's Jackson Decker territory. Jackson with an X marks the spot. 48-0. Clack now heads to Barlow after 3 straight road games to start the season. The Scots home opener will now be next Friday with Sandy. And while you were sleeping, the Southridge Skyhawks were roaring this morning on Good Day Oregon. Fox 12's Paulina Aguilar was in Beaverton ahead of the Hawks' annual night to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice, including Southridge alum Andrew J. Keller. The Army private first class from the class of 2008 was killed in Afghanistan back in August of 2012. AJK is always front of mind for head coach Kevin Bickler's Skyhawks.
All right, I'm done messing with these guys. Listen, you can tell the nest is full of spirit as they take on Tillamook. This week is a very special week as they're honoring an alumni, Andrew, who died in Afghanistan in 2012. He graduated from Southridge in 2008, and this is what these badges mean here, and that's who they're honoring tonight.
So Andrew was a very hardworking player. He had pretty much all our pillars that we stand for, so we want to go out, show him, pretty much just honor him, do all those pillars for him, and play our hardest for him.
Tell me what it means to be a Skyhawk and then cheer for the Skyhawks.
It's just an honor to be part of the Skyhawk family. We love hyping up our team, and it's just so fun to be part of school spirit.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. Again, for some school spirit.
Morning, noon, and night, the Skyhawk school spirit always high for the 10th annual Andrew Keller Memorial Game, honoring those who have and do serve and protect our freedom. Southridge playing at the 5A level. Tillamook paid the visit to Beaverton. Always good to see the cheesemakers on the show, and it took 2 plays to do some damage. Elegio Marcelli with the INT on the first pass attempt by Southridge. Number 15, wanting to go all the way to get into the 10. The Cheese then needed 1 snap to slice it in off the doorstep. Seth Wenger carries it in. He's a polite kid. Bends over, hands the rock to the official. Nice kid. Tillamook's first full possession turned into points 2. Griffin Boomer, a sophomore, around that right side. Don't mind a loose ball. Broke the plane. Another touchdown for the Cheesemakers. Still first now. Special teams being special. A block punt. I didn't roll on that part. I apologize. Marcel once more rolled cheese. Their big game now next week for Tillamook as the 4A state runners-up will visit the defending state champs from Estacada. We will be there. Southridge stays at home with Mountain View at a bend. Thursday night lights in Canby. Don't call them the Pac-2. Beavers, Cougars. Beaverton at Canby, 6A, 5A crossover in Cougar Country. Canby had a 26-0 edge at halftime. That's Jimmy Joyce's kids, always primed for prime time. Boy, Kellen Oliver, Jackson Doman, great hands. 34-0 for Canby. Fourth quarter, though, Beavs rebuilding that dam. They're young. Pitch to Des Valencia, the senior. Make sure Beaverton's got a breakthrough to avoid the skunking. And the Cougs kept on coming at you. Oliver, this time to the air. Hunter Van Sil, a big play that they know how to hang. 52 yards, 42-7 the final tally. The Beavs next host Oregon City on Friday. Cougs will travel to Bend. And wipe your feet. There's new carpet in Gresham. The first home game on the new field turf in Centennial. The Eagles, one of the last big schools in the state to move away from natural grass. Road trip from LaSalle can fly on any surface. Mueller, Mason Mueller, too easy, 14 yards, they're up 30-7. Eagles had reason to celebrate that new field, though. J.D. Self, the quarterback, keeps it himself. Great push up front, too, to make it 30-14. But that private school out of Milwaukee's got a quarterback who can call his own number 2 until he doesn't. Paul Scoro hits Mason Mueller up the hash and have a good time with it. Second quarter, now Centennial's got another ID on defense. Ball in the air near side, that's Talon Ferry, the captain, corrals that INT out of bounds at the 11. Next play for Elmer Eagle, the handoff to Gabe Welch. Get juiced and get gone. 89-yard pattern for the home team. Chris has the longest touchdown in that new field. Never in their history. Game 1. LaSalle Prep will be heard from again. Manu Tenzambi finds some blocks and finds his way in. 44-28. Falcons next play Milwaukee. The Eagles remain home with Hill High, both on traditional Friday night lights. And week 3 continues with Friday night lights, where another 10 games here will be featured. Here's what's on the menu for F&L. If Thursdays are appetizers, Fridays remain the main dish with the side of dessert. We've got a sweet lineup for week 3 of Fox 12's Friday Night Lights, 10:30. The big game crew will be live at Mountainside with the return of Craig Byrne to the show. Keenan Lowe's Mavericks host Steve Corey's Lake Oswego Lakers. And it's been a heavy week at Milwaukee. Fox 12's Jeff Lindblom will be live in the home of the Mustangs as MHS hosts Malala in the memory of longtime coach Rowan Omler. Coach Om spent 33 years in Milwaukee football and track after his All-American playing days at Portland State. He passed away last Friday after the victory at Park Groves. And the highlight should fly at maximum rate when Tualatin hosts Wilsonville will be there. And can Jesuit get its first win of the season? The defending state champs from West Linn are ready to host the Crusaders in the Lions Den. It'll be kickoff to PIL play with home games for teams like McDaniel and Jefferson. And Vancouver's McKenzie Stadium will be rocking in that Greater St. Helens League with the Thundering Crew from Mountain View and the Union Titans. Our band of the week, cheer of the night, and an all-around good time to host the party live on TV and online. Fox 12 Friday Night Lights. We hope you can join us. We'll be live again starting at 10:30 for week 3 of FNL. And the best from tonight and tomorrow will be tallied up and rolled out on Sunday. The 6 picks plays of the week, always a spot to be. Look back for pressing forward during the 10 o'clock news. Our spotlight centerpiece will take us to the volleyball court in Silverton. The 5A Mid-Willamette Conference has 4 schools ranked in the top 10. One of them being the Foxes, who are led out of their hole by Alexis Howery. Twice a Gatorade Oregon Player of the Year, the 17-year-old is ranked as the #1 setter in the country for the class of 2024 and ticketed to bump, set, and spike for those Washington Huskies, where she'll study pre-med with the Dogs.
I love the campus. They're one of the best pre-med schools, which is what I want to go into. Whenever I would be comparing schools, it was always Washington and then the other school and then Washington and then the other school. My mom was actually the one who pointed it out to me.
Yeah, mom, dad, big sister, little sister all have profound love for the game. That's tomorrow on Friday Night Lights. And we love when those high school spotlight submissions can go beyond football. If you have anybody in mind who's deserving of such a shine, drop me a line. And if you have any great footage of a game that you were perhaps at tonight, tomorrow, scan that code on the screen for a smooth upload. We can take a look at it for our post of the week. We had rain to kick this all off 3 weeks ago, and now we're back out to filming games in short sleeves. It's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow. Get after it. Our final blast of summer tomorrow for Friday Night Lights, guys. Back to you at the desk.